Do forgive the fact that I was very sick for recording this very special first intro. Furries have really become an ever-present part of online culture, haven't they? And even if you hate them, you know pretty well that they have a lot of interesting stuff going on in their brains. A lot of interesting stuff that most people won't want to talk to you about. But I'm going to be different, because unlike most creators, we're getting deep and real about it.
Good lord.
The weird, barely hidden part of the furry fandom that most furries don't like talking about. I'm here to show it all. Not just the cringe and not just the surface level. We're not talking about monster-chugging Johnny who drew himself as a wolf after he saw his friend online do so. We're talking about the people who are properly into it. Not the tip, not the surface, but the depths. But to understand the rust-filled, acid-burned, and shit-smeared depths, we need to understand how we first got here. It's time we learned about the furry pipeline. Better watch out for this pipeline carefully. You don't want to be the guy giving sloppy to another guy in a dog mask in the hotel room next to the nearest FurCon. Now I know that sounds like something a Gen X conservative father would say about your homosexuality, but that is not an exaggeration, that is a regular occurrence. But yeah, watch out for this, and share this video with all your friends so they don't end up doing the same. Unless you want to be the guy in the dog mask getting the sloppy and whatever, fucking... So, how do these people get into the situations they're currently dwelling in? With all the butts and the dicks and the mouths and the tits and the... you get the idea. It's very varied, and it's very contentious. But here's my understanding. It all starts when a group of crazy people, who had very oddly similar interests growing up, form an online community together and express themselves. They post artwork and stories about the things that matter most to them. The things they jack their dicks to. This leads to a lot of attention and even careers being formed in these internally motivated communities. Different types of these communities will have different ways of converting random internet users into their preferred form of degenerate. You can develop all sorts of paraphilias when you're older, and there's nothing wrong with that. Unless you did it when you were not so older. In which case, I'm sorry to say, but you use Discord.
We're pedophiles and groomers alike come to groom! We don't need any verification because we want minors here!
Yeah, sad to say that's not an exaggeration when it comes to certain furry NSFW communities. Regardless, we're not talking about Discord pedophiles. We're talking about people who are at least like 2 steps more respectable. Now, there are 3 definitions I've cooked up to help us understand what kind of furry each individual degenerate is. Now, I had to do this because the word furry is way over-applicable and based on self-identification. It's funny because you can call your friend a furry and probably be right, even if they're really butt-mad about that, but it's not really helpful when it comes to defining and understanding these people. Anyways, 1, cosfur. Someone who dresses up and presents themselves as a furry, an anthropomorphized character, like an animal person. You should know this by now. They might have a fursuit and go out to cons or just bother people at gas stations. They might have a Discord profile picture of an anthropomorphic character. They might do roleplay as a furry character. Point is, a cosfur is someone who embodies a character or uses it as their branding. Number 2, a furphile is someone who is attracted to anthropomorphic characters and may engage in communities that like to talk about different forms of attraction to anthropomorphic characters. Basically, furry make their dick go boing boing. Now, number 3 is an identifier. This is someone who not only makes a furry character, this is for someone who makes a persona that directly embodies and represents them. This kind of person will often refer to their persona in the first person. Now, these 3 aren't mutually exclusive. In fact, the people who are deepest in the furry fandom are likely going to be all 3. And, of course, a lot of the content on Fluff stuff is going to be about furphiles specifically. I am of the opinion, though, that the more they involve themselves in it, the more fucked up they tend to be. So look forward to the people who genuinely want to see themselves in the people being swallowed whole on commission art. They're a lot more common, and everywhere, than you might think. Now, introductions to the furry fandom and the concepts at large are everywhere. So if you didn't get into them really early on in life, you'll have ample opportunity. Now, here are just 3 of the different ways you could find yourself mixed up in a bunch of fur and with a lot of regrets in mind. Or not, maybe you're on that zesty self-acceptance arc. I won't judge. Others will, but I won't. Furry Pipeline 1, The Corrupted. So put yourself in someone else's shoes. You're a little guy, a lonely but sociable young teenager. Perfect age for slowly figuring out who you really are, where you stand in this big, scary world. One messed up mistake that will prevent you from having a career in politics at a time. So, you're talking to your online buddy in between playing MOBAs and shooters and saying slurs that haven't been deemed offensive yet in the mid-2010s. Your buddy, seeing you ain't got many friends, introduces you to some other gamer-type kids. A few friends of friends, and hopefully no child groomers later, one of your new friends invites you to their server, and, well, what else can I say but it's really quaint. It has an art channel filled with depressed cats. Weird. You ask them what their profile pictures are, and they say it's their persona. While initially the word sounds instinctively cringe, as they come to explain more and more and more, you begin to crackle and concede that it sounds like an interesting way to depict yourself. Maybe you don't like how you look, or you always thought certain animals were really cool, but I don't know, it sounds nice. However long it may take you to admit to yourself that you want to be a furry, cut to a few years later, and not only are you now a big guy adult, you're a big beastly creature, an animal person on the internet. All you had to do was forsake the acceptance of like 20% of the people you meet online. Radical. So yeah, here you are, fully defined furry, relatively innocent. How the fuck are you supposed to get down the NSFW furry pipeline? You've already gone through the wholesome one. Well, it's a pretty massive community out there dedicated to yiffing each other, isn't it? Wouldn't it be really funny if we, got one of those pictures as a joke? We know commission artists who do that kind of thing on the side, hush hush. But as you get exposed to it more and more, maybe you're an artist and you need to make some extra money, and my god, those people make a lot of money doing that stuff. You know, this is something that's closely associated with me, maybe just between me and my partner? Yeah, just that.
Can we your beep, please?
Okay,
please?
I guess I really like this one too. I like this guy.
It's a friend in need, and you know, it's just text. It's not cheating. Wait, how did I get here? Oh no. No!
Introducing the first of the sites we'll be frequenting on this series, Discord! And Telegram, I guess. Discord is where most mainstream furries make their stomping grounds. It's a high-quality application, has branding that suits furries, and it's owned by furries. But, as I said earlier in the video, we aren't here to talk about Discord pedophiles, so we don't talk about Discord's owners. Yeah. Also, it allows for independent communities to get to know each other and share things between themselves. Perfect for all sorts of people who do sus penis things with text and images. I guess it's also there if you just want to hang out and get to know people who have things in common with you, but we ain't talking about that. Oh, yeah, also, Telegram. Telegram is, to furries, what... Well, you see, it's mostly unmoderated, mostly untraceable, and it's completely anonymous.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Wish me luck and pray I don't go down a pipeline myself. And one more thing about Discord. Furry Pipeline 2, the unlucky loner, otherwise known as the groomed. Okay, no. We're putting on the serious face for this, okay? You can tell I'm being serious right now because I'm only going to be using this slide. Right, so, young teens are impressionable. Young teens are on Discord. Okay. Also, NSFW communities are on Discord. These things, they shouldn't interact, but so often, they do. Regularly and unopposed, they just walk into spaces where people openly discuss their fetishes and sexual habits wholesomely and casually. In fact, you're looked on as an outsider if you don't. And what this does to the youth, the amount of teenage femboys just looking to fit in is fucking egregious. Now, I don't know about you NSFW community people, but the idea of some greasy Discord mod dictating the presentation and orientation of minors online, even fucking passively, it pisses me off.
Oh no, but it's not our fault. They joined us, and there's no controlling the youth.
No,
You have the power to dictate how you interact with them. You can get them out of your NSFW social spaces too. Here's an example. Hey there, you, minors watching this video. I can't control what you watch online. No one can really. But we should not be engaging one another about it. Not at all. Zero. Stay completely clear of not just mine, but any NSFW social space. Now, I know that may sound harsh, Jimbo, but I urge you to put it in perspective. Think about the kind of person that does want to talk to you about these things. Picture them in your head. Do they look like Mr. Plinkett? Because they should! That's Pipeline 2. I'm not making a silly POV story about it. Let's get on to the next thing. So, there's this site called E621. It's an image board. So, what images does this image board contain? Well, it's primarily hosting loads and loads and loads of furry porn. And yeah, it has links to the artists who drew it too. Also, notable, it has people being horribly entitled freak beasts in the comment section of the POV vor swallowing video they just got done interacting with, we'll say. I guess post-nut clarity is one hell of a drug, though I would have assumed these people just got off of an amphetamine or some such. Okay, regardless, I don't think I need to explain to you why I'm going to be using this site regularly as I delve deeper into this fandom. So without further ado, on to the third and final pipeline. Furry Pipeline 3, The Fetishist. Early in life, you were unfortunate enough to have come across and unhealthily fixated on one maybe innocuous topic. Could be feet, mouths, or... oh, you know what I mean, don't pretend, okay? So, fast forward quite a few years, and now you're a complete degenerate 20-something in college. You're looking at feet, and you're beating your meat like... But wait a minute, your hyper-specific foot fetish content involving, like, pregnancy or whatever is running dry. No matter how many synonyms you put into Rule 34, it doesn't matter. There's nothing there. So, now, you have to go find more. And wait another minute. Why is most of this shit that you like furry? And why is it so well drawn when it is furry? You know, maybe it's not that bad. You know, the art style is kind of... I'm a degenerate. Oh, man. Wait a minute. All these people have ads for commissions. Wait, like, I can buy art? Wait a minute. I can get some of this made on my own. All right. Let's talk to let's DM this artist.
Sorry, Link. I can't draw humans. Come back when you're a little more, cultured.
Fuck. I guess I can make a little, like, a furry thing to represent me. E621, you say?
Don't go in there, you'll become one. Freaky creatures, monster party. Eyes of yellow, scales and feathers, tails and tethers. Turn the lights off. Everybody likes to get taken for turns.